The key to understanding Matthew chapter 24 is Daniel 9 and 12, where it shows us a specific abomination timeframe of 3.5 years. In Matthew chapter 24, Jesus said the abomination of desolation would begin the Great Tribulation, and that he would return in the clouds with power and glory immediately after the tribulation. Matthew chapter 24 verse 15, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Verse 21, then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. Verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And then, shown in Mark chapter 13 verse 27, he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. The event Jesus is referring to in Matthew chapter 24 verse 15 is Daniel chapter 9 verse 27 and Daniel chapter 11 verse 31. The Antichrist will confirm the covenant for 7 years and will be an abomination to God and will make it, the holy place, the temple, desolate in the middle of those final 7 years. Take note of what the end of this prophecy brings. Daniel chapter 9 verse 24, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Each week is a week of years, or a 7-year period. The prophecy will make an end of sins and will bring in everlasting righteousness and seal up the prophecy. This will only be accomplished when God abolishes sin and destroys the wicked and sets up his kingdom, which we see in Revelation chapter 20 and 21. In the midst of the final week, the middle of the final 7 years, is when this abomination of desolation will happen. Daniel chapter 9 verse 27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Daniel 11 also shows us this abomination of desolation as it gives us details about the time of the rule of the Antichrist. Daniel chapter 11 verse 31, and arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. The Antichrist will come to his end. Daniel chapter 11 verse 45, and he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. Daniel 11 is continued into Daniel 12 and gives us the time frame of this event. Daniel chapter 12 verse 7, and I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth for ever that it shall be for a time, times, and an half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. Many shall be purified, and made white, and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So Daniel specifically tells us that this event will happen 3.5 years before all these things shall be finished. Time, 1 year, times 2 years, and a half a year, equals 3.5 years, and 1290 days equals 3.53 years. These things are what Daniel 11 and into Daniel 12 just said. It's the time of the Antichrist who will come to his end, and, at that time, there will be a time of trouble such as never was. This time of trouble is the same thing Jesus is referring to if we continue reading in Matthew chapter 24 verse 15 when he says, When we see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, Matt 24:21, then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. So Daniel and Jesus together specifically say that the Abomination of Desolation will start the Great Tribulation and that it will last for 3.5 years. There is no question that this is so, when we just read these passages and simply believe what it says in black and white. When we combine this knowledge with Daniel 7, where it again specifically says that the Antichrist will rule the world for 3.5 years. And when he's destroyed, Jesus will come and the kingdom of God will be established. These scriptures show us that it will be the event in the middle of the final 7 years, and that it will begin the tribulation, which will end at the return of Christ, which is when the Antichrist comes to his end, the end of these things. This proves absolutely without a doubt, 100% surety, that we know for sure that this is all encapsulated in that final 3.5 years and will happen exactly as we are shown in the prophecies, at the end. It cannot be something that's already happened. Jesus tells us this specifically so we can know the timing. And he goes on to tell us the signs that will herald his coming, which I discuss on my website on the When is the End of the World page and videos. For more information, visit BibleProphecyandTruth.com. Click the link in the description.